All right, what's up, everybody? How's it going? Thank you for joining us on Thursday afternoon. Ayo. Womp, womp, womp,
Hey, folks.
I have with me, as always, the amazing, the awesome Trevor Blades. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, Blades. Pleasure to have you.
Hey, of course, it's the pleasure is all
Yeah,
mine.
you hear that? You heard it here, folks. The pleasure is all his. Okay, remember that. So, yeah, we are working on a really cool app. We are building an app to track skate spots all across the globe. Well, I mean, like really from anywhere, technically anywhere with a geolocation. I'm not really sure how that plays. Like, what happens when we colonize Mars? Would we still be able to track those
Mm.
skate spots? This is something that we'll have to account for. So we'll get there. But I'm sorry, I'm derailing. Here we go. But yeah, long story short,
It was a good one.
it was all right.
I think you deserve more than a sad
Oh,
trumpet.
thanks.
That's for sure.
Filmed in front of a live audience. But yeah, so we're going to oh my gosh, they're combining our names like a power couple now. Sturt. That also gets laughter. It was amazing. But yeah, so we're working on this skate spot app. This is a mobile app, folks. So this is the first time on this stream that we've dove into the mobile world. Now we're doing it through React Native. We're not doing native iOS or Android development. We are doing it with React Native. We're also using oh, awesome. Thank you for joining us, first of all. And I'm so glad that you love the sound effects because they bring me much joy and I use them a lot. So hopefully it is more fun than annoying. Yeah. But
Hey, Michelle. Michelle is gonna be our newest teammate
that's
in
right. Like what, like a
a week or
day?
so. We're all so excited.
Oh, is it a week? I thought it was like literally this week.
Next
Next
Tuesday, I
Tuesday.
think.
Awesome. Michelle, we are super hyped to have you coming on board. Heck yes. Yeah, and yeah. So yeah, so it's our dive into React Native, and so we're using a couple fun technologies. We're using React Native, as I mentioned. We're using Aws Amplify to handle most of the heavy lifting for us. So this is something that's new. In most of the other launch pads, you've seen us kind of build out Apollo server and manage a lot of things like building out authentication and setting up the API. We've skipped that this time. We said, let's use Aws Amplify. So we've got that going. And it's an Apollo stream, so it wouldn't be much of an Apollo stream without Apollo. We are still using Apollo clients because it is my preferred client for building things with GraphQL. There's some other really good options out there for GraphQL clients as well, worth checking out. But yeah. Oh, that's so timely. That's so cool. So glad to have you hanging out with us. And oh, that's awesome. So fetching from a WordPress API. Yeah, that's a great use case right there. I love it. Absolutely love to hear it. So that's where we're at. We're going to flip over here in a second. I just wanted to kind of recap what we've done so far and where we're going to pick up. So we bootstrapped the React Native project. We're also using something called Expo to handle a lot of the heavy lifting for us on that end. And actually, I should have included them in my tweet. My bad, Expo folks. I will make sure to include you all in that description next time. Yeah, because it is fair. They're doing a lot of the heavy lifting for us. So if you're not familiar, Expo provides like a toolkit kind of thing, or you know, I won't say framework, because when you think framework, you start thinking about like views and like data management and stuff. And you know, they touch on that a little bit, but really it's more like a toolkit, right? Like exposing native APIs that you'll want access to, giving you a easy to use kind of development experience, something that you might be used to with like Gatsby or Create React App or something like that. And so we've got that set up, and then we added Aws Amplify. And what we did there is we are making use of Cognita, which is the identity management service. So that's how we got our authentication and authorization set up. We're also using AppSync, which is a GraphQL service provided by AWS. And that's how we built up our backend infrastructure. And then lastly, like I said, we've got Apollo client on the client. So let's go ahead and flip on over to our app, and then we can kind of take a look and see where we're at.
Sounds good.
Yeah, yeah, right. So, so here we go. We've got it all loaded up for you. You can see that we have signed into your account. So I believe I did like, what
Oh
was it?
no, dude.
Curtis Kemple plus. We did this last time, right? Plus test, or no? It was just. It was no. It was my regular. No, plus spot check. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, plus spot check at gmail.com. And then for the password was like test1234.
Maybe test 1 2 3.
Yeah, 1 2 3. All right.
No?
So I cannot remember what it was, but
Maybe just test.
maybe it was just test. I could have swore it was like test with some numbers. Oh no, you know what it is? I remember. You have to have like some kind of symbol. So let's do at test 1 2 3. Let's try at 1 2 3 4. I can't. Oh, there we go. That was it. At test 1 2 3 4.
Dude, you're making your development passwords too complex. I think I wrote it down somewhere. I'm looking back through my notes now.
Kyle has a great question in chat, which is why didn't I go admin password route, which is very true. I could have also done root, which is a fun one, or root password. Yeah, these are all very good. I don't know why I didn't do that. Next time I will. That's for sure.
Yeah, I can't find it anywhere. I'm gonna make a note here.
Yeah.
What is it again?
Jot that down. So it's Curtis. Actually, why don't I just like put it in my notes? But it's Curtis Kemple plus spot check at gmail.com.
Okay. And password is at test
1 2 3 4.
1 2 3 4. Okay. Well, let's see how long we go. We need like a counter, like days since last accident, days since
last login.
Remembered his password.
So funny thing is I do use one
0.
password. Yeah, 0. Yeah. I do use one password, and like I'm so used to that. So but it's like a test account. But it's no biggie. It's no biggie. We're in. That's all that matters. In my hacker voice, we're in.
All right.
Yeah. So we're in. So you can see here we have one spot. So we've already created this one spot. We just like put in some. We've got like this little form here. This is all. So we got to start thinking about styling at this point and kind of making this more, I guess, a real, for lack of a better term. But all we're doing right now is pulling in how many spots there are. But if we want to look at this data, so we kind of want to be able to check this out. So what I'm going to do is open up this other terminal, and I'm going to run this command. What is it? It's Amplify API console. And what that's going to do is say, hey, bring me to AWS console. I don't know how many of you have used AWS's like console, like their admin, but it's not very fun to like navigate and find your way around. And this will, of course, open it in a new window. That's really awesome. I'll bring it back over to the other one, but essentially it's going to bring me to AppSync API, which it did. So I'm just copying this URL. It opened up in a new window. So I'm copying that out, almost accidentally closing my Skype call.
Yeah, Frackberg, I have a similar feeling. AWS console is like the hyena territory in Lion King.
It really is. Yeah.
Avoid it at all costs.
Yeah.
Unless you absolutely have to visit that place. We don't go there.
Exactly.
My memory of using AWS console is back when I had like an API hosted on or no, it wasn't even an API. It was like a static site hosted on S3 with CloudFront, right? AWS CloudFront caching layer in front of it. And I remember like I've always found myself in the AWS console in the CloudFront thing creating invalidations for new files manually. I'd be like, deploy an update and be like, make an
Ooh,
invalidation for index.html, blah blah blah.
yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
painful.
just say CF.
Yeah, yeah. CloudWatch logs and trying to like build
CloudWatch.
reliable like dashboards or get information from there is really painful. My biggest AWS console days was when I was at Major League Soccer. We used a lot of AWS services, and I basically lived in the console. It was really rough. We were in there for everything from like, you know, the Redis and actually configuring servers and CloudFront, Route 53, all that fun jazz. Not fun, to say the least, but I did.
Living in AWS console.
Yeah, yeah, basically. I spent a lot of
Your,
time
your,
in
your
there.
teammates are like, "Where have you seen Kurt?" No, I think he's in the console again.
Swimming around. Or I like to
Stuck.
picture like another hacker's reference. Like I got like a VR headset on. It's like 3D, and I'm like going through the services. That would actually be awesome. So hey, if you work at AWS and you're listening, you could probably get
Yeah,
people
get
more
on it.
interested, yeah, in using
It's
your
some virtual
console.
reality.
Yeah, if you put it in virtual reality.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Chat, post your favorite AWS console memory in the chat if you have one.
yeah. And if you don't have one, bless you. Like you're very lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, go into the Matrix. Plug me in. I can even lean my chair back. It's like plug me in. I love it. I love it. I love it. What's up, Skype? Why are you so jumpy? Blades, it's making you skip around. You're like, but you're back. There we go. No, now you're skipping around again. No, you're back. Are you doing it? Are you not moving on purpose?
Dude, this is brutal.
Oh, there you go. You're okay.
Yeah, am I back?
Yeah. Yeah, you're good. I don't know if that was just
My
me.
my computer's going bananas.
Is it BANANAS? Hello.
It's still super laggy. I'm gonna go get my Ethernet cable. 1 sec.
Okay. Well, look at that, folks. He's going to grab his Ethernet cable. He's going direct. Actually, that's like the Matrix. He's going direct. He's going to hard line in. When he comes back, he'll know Kung Fu. So that'll be a lot of fun. We'll get to check that out. Yeah, okay, fine. I'll do it for myself. Just in case nobody laughs at my joke. But yeah, so that's kind of where we left off, which means I think the next thing we need to do is kind of figure out our styling. Now, I don't think Blades can hear me, so we'll try this again once he gets all wired in.
Hello.
Hi. Let's see if it fixes itself, or it could be on my end. There we go. Seems to be getting a little better. It's whenever I run the simulator, iOS simulator, I think is when I have these issues. Although I'm only using 20% of my CPU right now. No, it's me. No, it's me. I'm dropping mad frames.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's on my end.
Oh. Weird.
Yeah, I think my internet connection is
Yeah,
bad.
I'm watching. Huh. Are you hardwired?
I am. I think there's just something going on with my internet.
Oh no.
Well, let's see what happens. Let's just give it a second because it seems to be recovering.
Okay.
Maybe tell a joke. But wait, they can't hear you tell it because it's going through my computer. So it's still...
Right.
And now, right. Kyle, you jinxed us. Way to go. Way to go, Kyle. This is all your fault. Yeah, I keep dropping down to 0 kilobits. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the stream drops.
Yeah. Are y'all getting choppy stream?
They have to be. Have to be.
Yeah, I just got, there was a network error. Please try again.
All right. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm at 0 kilobits. Like, it's literally doing nothing. Do you have the stream up?
Dang. I do, yeah.
And it's all crazy? Ooh, all choppy?
So the audio seems to be coming through fine, but the video is like slideshow.
Interesting. Well, that makes sense because I'm dropping so many frames.
Oh wait. Now we're moving. Now I'm seeing us
It's going up and down.
smooth
You know
right
what I'm
now.
gonna do? I might end the stream and restart it and see if that helps.
Sure.
Because this is not good.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's let the chat know. We'll be right back. We're gonna restart the stream. We'll see how that goes. All right. Hang on. Hold on, folks. Hang in there with us. All right, so we're holding up. We're gonna let this run for a second, just see how it goes. I think that definitely deserves some trombone action. All right, let's see. We're holding strong. All right.
All right.
I think we're okay. It was weird. I was like
Okay.
dropping down to like 0 kilobits and then like back up.
Eesh.
Yeah, it's really weird, but it doesn't seem
OBS
to be
doing a number on you.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem to be my internet connection, which is what I would have thought because our call was perfectly fine as soon as we stopped the stream. All right.
So strange.
So strange, but we're good. We'll see how it goes.
But anyway, like we were saying,
yeah,
AWS console. Hey, is it any coincidence that after you opened up AWS console, the stream went to shit?
Or that we were talking about AWS console and it went, and Twitch is owned by Amazon.
Oh,
yo, the plot.
That's it.
The plot thickens, folks. This is it. So whatever you do, don't smack talk a blank S console while you're on stream. That's the lesson here, I think. That's what I'm gonna go with anyway, because it can't be my fault. That's impossible.
No, not your fault. Definitely not.
All right, but we're back.
Nothing's ever.
Yeah, no, nothing ever. But I think we're back. I think we're okay. We're gonna push ahead.
We're back.
If we start to hit issues and we go into slideshow mode again, please let us know, and we'll do what we can to get it fixed. All right, so we are back. We left off. We said, hey, this is what we have. We got this little form here, and we can we have a mutation. We can list our spots. So let's see if I'm still logged in. There we go. So we can list our spots. We can create spots as well. We've got our mutation set up. So I think our next step should be like, do you want to like, should we clean up like what we have here? Should we actually make this form more functional, make it kind of work, you know, kind of clean this up a little bit and then maybe do some better work on listing these spots out?
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so there's one big kind of elephant in the room. It's not exactly an elephant, but this is inherently a map-based, location-based app. So I mean, this has an impact on displaying and adding spots, and we can kind of choose which one we want to do first. But I'm wondering what you think about adding a map to this like add spot form. So the form ends up just being like a field for a name, a field for a description, and a map. And then based on that, you know, and here's the vision. We show a map, the map starts. There's just a pin in the center of the map,
Based on your current
and
location.
based on your current location, and then when you move the map, the pin's coordinates change
Yes.
naturally,
Yes.
and we use that pin's coordinates as the spot location.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Okay, so that brings up some really interesting things. So I have built something like this similarly again, so we can reference some old code there. So I know, but first let's go to the Expo docs because they have an API for this. Like they have like a Google Maps integration. So
Yeah,
let's try that. But I'm also wondering, like, I know there's a couple other map services that you could use. Would we be down for trying something different, like a map box or like a leaflet or something like that? Like one of these other map services?
I would, but right now, let's see. I know Mapbox. Maybe yeah. Maybe this would work. Mapbox GL. Uh,
I was gonna Google like
React
React
Native.
Native map box or React Native map.
Yeah. So if you do that, like Expo's map view
Number
is
one.
like one of the top
Yeah.
um one of the top results. I think that this might be the best, like our best bet.
It
Um,
is. That's the one I've used before. For sure.
I say let's do it. I've never seen it. I'm sure that most of the chat isn't familiar with it. So if you're familiar with it, I see that as a benefit. We're in good hands, you know.
Yeah, yeah, let's do it. I mean, it's been a little while, but let's do it. So let's run this. So we've
Okay.
got Expo install React Native maps. You know, they've made so many advancements in Expo over the last like year or so. I love that like they've really gotten the
Hmm.
auto linking and stuff figured out for you because it used to be pretty difficult for web dev folks to come in and be able to use these libraries because you would have to like
Yeah.
sometimes configure CocoaPods or like Maven or like
Hmm.
Gradle updates to get your Android stuff working properly, and they've really come a long way. But while that's installing, let's go back here to the docs and take a look at the usage. So it seems that it's not too complicated. We're going to be able to get um, started relatively easy, but well, this is good because we don't really need to deploy the standalone app. So we might even be able to get away with not having to do most of this stuff in the configuration because we're not actually deploying it to the App Store. So I think a lot of this will run locally just based off of the example. So I'm very curious to see if that's true. So let's see. Okay, wow, that was really fast. So it's installed. We can see that we have one new dependency. It linked the dependencies for us, and this was the part that I was talking about that could. Oh no, Skype froze. Are you kidding? Oh no, this is just unacceptable. All right, hang on. Oops. Let me. Yeah. Let me. Give me one sec. Okay. So I'm gonna have to end this call with Blades and calling back. Oh, this is getting very frustrating. All right, here we go. Oh, all of Skype froze for me. That's fun. All right, let's flip over to be right back. We'll be right back. One sec.
needs like I need some kind of rotating animated thing in my background.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ugh. All right, we got blades back, folks. Yeah. All right. So when I installed that package, Skype didn't like it, and it quit working. The whole app locked up. But we're back. Um,
Native development is so particular.
it's really interesting when you think about it, because like I never experienced, like we do. How many web apps have we built? Are you frozen again? No, you're there. Thank goodness.
No.
Okay, we built.
Oh, my video is frozen on the.
Is it?
Oh wait,
Because
no, never mind,
yeah, it
never
seems to
mind.
be
It
all
is.
right for me. Yeah. Uh, it's interesting because we've built how many web apps and like never had any issue. And as soon as we start doing a native app, like it just like
Yeah,
it has effects on other parts of the computer. It's really wild to say the
because
least.
it's all like native code, right? Like
Yeah.
it's a different domain.
Yeah, yeah, and so then I guess Skype, the NDI server, didn't like something that was happening, but yeah, completely locked up the whole service. But we're back. We're back. Were you slacking me to tell me? No. Oh,
I
okay,
just slacked you a picture of
Yes.
of the scene.
yeah. That's amazing. Look at the
Just-
confusion on my face.
It's a big smoothie.
All right.
All done.
All right, so here we go. So we're back. We're back, folks. All right, yeah. So what we were discussing, I'm not sure where you froze up, but like, yeah. So we decided we're going to use this package, and we'll go from there. Right? Does that sound good?
Let's do it.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got it installed, and it seems like the next step would be to have a view for our map. So what we're gonna do is
And just to be clear on that install part. So this React Native Maps is an npm library. But if we were to install it, like if we were to look at its installation instructions on npm, we first need to npm install it, and then following that, we would need to run a few other commands that like link that dependency with its native
Yep.
counterparts, I guess.
Yep.
Like you said, using CocoaPods or things like that. And what we did instead was just run expo install React Native Maps, and expo handles both of those parts for us.
Absolutely. Yeah, they took care of the brunt of the work. Exactly.
Cool.
All right, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna get a little bit tricky with this. So I've imported our map view. We've got a container. I'm gonna make a new one here called map. So we're gonna create our styles in here. So now the first thing I'm gonna do is just give this flex 1, and that's just going to say take up like all the width and height of the space that you're in, essentially. We can see that we've already done that here with the container. And so styles in React Native behave a little bit different than web, in that like all of your views are flex by default. So you can just start using like align, or justify content and align items, and that will kind of just work. So we don't have to add display flex because we're already display flex. But if we say flex 1, it should take up the whole space. Now, where we want to get different is we're actually going to say position, and we're going to make that absolute. And so this will kind of, just like on web, take us out of the viewport. And then this will essentially put the map behind everything. And so that's kind of what I'm thinking we can do there. So next, what we can do is we'll just leave everything for now. Let's just get one in there and get it rendered. I think would be a good first step. So we're gonna come here. I'm gonna copy this. And so now if we come down to our view, this view here, we're going to drop it in as the first item within here, and it should render a map behind our app. Although I might have to restart this. Let me see. Or do I just have to come over here and like hit like Command R? I can never remember. Because we linked a new dependency, so like I don't know if that will be picked up in the build. I think we might.
Well, let's see.
Yeah, it says new update available
Doing
downloading.
some.
Yeah, let's go take a look at what is happening here. So finished. Yeah, so build is finished. So it is working. It's building the
Nice.
build. All right, so we have no map, but my question is that because this is styles, right? Styles.map. Yep, styles.map. I wonder if I have to, because I did position absolute. You know what? I think for the map, you have to give a specific width and height. I seem to remember that.
Yeah.
And if we look at
Well, for absolute elements, that's definitely true. And if we're using absolute, then we don't really need to add display, or we don't need to add like flex grow and flex shrink and stuff won't have an effect on it.
That's true. Although I do wonder about that in React Native because it is slightly different.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I got to include dimensions. So, but that comes out of React Native. Okay.
We can just
there we go.
Cool. I'm just going to move dimensions up to our existing React.
Oh, I didn't even see that one up there. Yeah, good call. Okay, so we've got it, right? So boom, look at that. We've already got a map rendered below. So that's how easy it was to get a map in. Not very difficult.
Nice.
A fun thing to know too is like this is native. So we're talking about different devices, and the React Native Maps package will actually load Apple Maps for iOS devices, and it will load Google Maps for Android devices. So you'll get the proper map platform. Now, we're going to go start digging into this API because we could start to set markers, and we could do a lot of really fun things with markers. So I'll see if the docs have it, this is like a good example for us here. And if they don't, we'll then dive into some stuff that I have. This all looks like configuration. I want usage. Is this the only usage? I guess I have to go to the docs. Yeah, here we go. See full documentation. So I'm going to share this repo with everyone.
Please.
As a matter of fact, I opened an issue on here that recently was closed by Stalebot.
Exciting.
Yeah. Well, it's not if you look. So this is why. Like, are hard up for maintainers right now for that. So, okay. So we've got our map. So what we want to work on is like, so here's initial region, which we could set to say, this is where we should load up at. And now we can get some of this information from the device to figure out where the device is and load up from there. So that is something that we can do. And then when we want to, so we were talking about like using the latitude and longitude. This is kind of essentially the way that we can do this. We can add an on regions change. And so then if I come here and I drag the map around, I can then make those updates, right? Like based on that. So I'm going to do two things. One is I'm just going to hide our form for now because we're going to deal with the map layer first, and we'll get that all working. And then we can come back and kind of, can I fold this and comment it? Let's see if this works. Nope. Nope. That did not work. Oh, nope. That's going to do something bad too. All right, highlights. There we go. There. So now we should have just a nice clean map. Cool. All right, so a couple things. We are in a new world of React than when that doc was created. So for us, our state, I'm actually going to fold up some other stuff in here too that we're not using. So let's just go ahead and get some of this stuff cleaned all up. No, just not going to fold up. Just gonna ignore me. This is wild. I am clicking the fold button. Oh, there we go. And it's not folding.
In VS Code? Strange.
That is strange. Okay, I guess we're not gonna fold that up.
All right.
There we go. Now it's working. Don't ask me why. Okay. So, oh, look, you're already adding the code. Thanks.
Oh yeah.
I always forget about that. This is why I love live share. We can both work at the same time. Okay. So while you're adding that initial code, I'm going to go back. We're going to look up Expo device location. Okay. And we're going to have to install this again. Hopefully this does not boot you out of our Skype call. So we'll see. But yeah, and then we're going to be able to get our location. And actually, this is set up to be used in a modern app. Okay, so let's try this. So I'm going to come back over here and let's go to here. Is that location? Expo install location?
Looks right to me.
Expo location. Oof, that was close.
Oh,
yeah.
This is why you never trust. I was looking at the wrong camera. You never trust me.
Yeah, I was just saying, or you never trust yourself. Never trust yourself.
Or your peers.
Or your peers.
Trust no one.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my goodness. I heard on the stream not to trust anyone on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to Apollo, Michelle.
All right, so installing. I'm watching Blades real closely to see if Skype locks up. So it'll be very interesting. You need a spinning heart in your background, so I know if you're frozen. Oh, stop it! Stop it, Blades! Stop it!
I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, smart Michelle. That's it. Taking notes. Cool. Well, that one didn't lock everything up, so that's nice. All right, so we're good to go on that. So let's see here. Oh, you know what? It really stinks. Now when I want to upload this stream, I have to edit it together because technically it's 2 videos.
Oh yeah.
That's all right.
Oh well, the second video is the more.
Yeah, I'll put it together.
Is where the action happens.
I've done this before. Ask Jake about it. Poor Jake. So when I first started live streaming, real quick derailment. When I first started live streaming for Apollo, I had a slight misconfiguration. I was using the wrong encoder type. And what would happen is, are you frozen? No. Oh, thank God. What would happen is if I started to drop any frames, and dropping frames means like as it's sending the video feed to Twitch, sometimes frames will drop out. And it's not that bad if a couple drop, but if a lot do, that's when you get like that slideshow behavior that we were seeing before. So like right now I'm dropping 0.2%. I've dropped 152 frames since we've started, but it's fine. The stream goes on, it continues. With this encoding type, if you started to drop frames, it would start to like cascadingly fail. Like it would try to recover and so it would start eating up more of the CPU and you would start dropping more and more frames until like the entire stream just locked up and collapsed. I had no idea why it was happening, but it happened like, I don't even know how many times while I was on stream with Jake and we were going over some like Apollo config stuff. It was pretty rough, but I put it all together into like a nice video at the end. But yeah, it's funny to
you had to like piece together a puzzle.
Yeah, literally. And it was really funny. Like everybody was very patient with it too, which is much appreciated. And shout out to y'all for sticking around and hanging out with us. But yeah, it's just funny to like think back about that, humble beginnings. But yeah, it was cool. Yeah. How far we've come. Do you remember like our first layouts and when we made like the social cards and like we did our first stream, our first launch pad?
I do. I actually just saw, I watched like a clip today talking about when we relaunched the blog and that was on the original layouts. This one. I think this was
I gotta bring it up real quick.
The original layouts.
Just real quick.
Yeah, dude, I remember this.
So you can
Yeah.
just get
With like the
.com/pl/blog
circular baubles
Yep.
all the source
and
code for the
whatnot.
blog is right
Yo,
there.
that was
Good
amazing.
times.
If you're curious.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Oh, I love it. But yeah, that was the original layout. This is where we were, folks, and this is where we are now. It's come such a long way. Ah, cool, yeah.
Now I have a light behind me.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I got a hood on my head,
Yeah.
and other than that, not much has changed.
Yeah. My whole layout has changed. Like this whole thing. Like so many times. Even actually this whole thing has changed so many times since then.
Yeah.
Yo, I dyed my hair like 100 times this last year. All right. So let's see. We've got our location package installed. So let's go ahead and see what that takes. And I've dropped that link in chat as well too, if folks want to check out the location library. It looks like we're gonna have to use background permissions. That location must be granted, right? So, I think this gives us the code to do this anyway. So if we come down here and look, we're going to need some more state. So I'll just go ahead and grab this. We don't really care so much about the error state right now. We'll want that in the future for sure. But okay. I think this is okay. And we're going to be able to get our initial state. We're going to have to use Sue and effect. Sue effects. We're going to have to use effect here to go and fetch that state. So we only want this to run once when we get started. Let's go back here and look at this code. I wish I could fold this sidebar because I have it blown up so that everyone can see, but then it really messes this up.
Oh, I see what you mean, yeah.
And like, there's no way to collapse it. I'm going to minimize this just a little bit, folks, just so I can get, there we go. Hopefully that's still somewhat legible for you. But really what we care about here is this. We're going to take this async function and we'll go boop. So at this point, I'm just curious to see if this will like set our location. As a matter of fact, we really don't need this. What we want to set is our region, but let's stick with it for now. So
okay,
I'm just gonna console log our location.
So what's actually going on here? Request permissions.
Yep. So first we have to get permission to get location, right? Like you can't just track people's location without getting that permission first on mobile devices. So we have to ask, actually this is true for web as well. So we have to first get the status, right? And so then we'd have to approve it. If we have the status is granted, if it's not granted, then that's where the set error message goes. But here we'll console log because we don't bring in that state. So we would console log this. And then once we have permissions, that's when we're going to get the actual location from get current position async. And so then we're going to console log that to see what we're getting. Now, if I remember correctly, it just like gives you your Latin long, which we could then just set inside of region, right? Like region. Yeah, we don't actually need another set of state. I don't think. So let's try this out and see what happens.
Okay.
Can't, use effect. Oops. Oh, look at that.
There you go.
On it. Okay, so let's see. Possible rejection. Can't find variable location. So we also have to bring that in from React Native. I used to have like an auto import on, but I guess it doesn't always work.
Expo location give us that the regular React Native location doesn't.
Oh, I bet I'm doing that from the wrong place. I think that should be Expo's location.
Okay.
I would bet. Let's verify. Yeah. Import star as I need to add this.
All right.
That I'm just like not doing it properly. It has absolutely nothing to do with. Oh, whoa. Command shift. Okay, there we go. All right. Hey, see, so here we go. So now we've got our pop-up. allow them, allow
Oh,
while
wow.
using the app, allow once, don't allow. So we allow, and so now we should get a console log if we go to our output um, and go to the bottom. Here we go. So we have chords, which is an object. It gives us our latitude
Latitude and longitude.
longitude, which is really what we're after. And
Yep.
so now what we can do is we can come back in our code and we have our set region function to this empty object. So let's go back to our docs and what they define. We're going to need a latitude and longitude delta. So what I'm actually going to do is copy this. And
Why do we need a delta?
Yes. So what the delta defines is, it's really tricky, but essentially it's saying like, what is the delta of like the distance to like put in view in the map. So like if we drop it in the center and we set no delta, it's going to be like basically the map about as zoomed out as it can possibly be. But we can define a delta, which is kind of like defining what the border is. Now it gets into like some math stuff. This is like a bit beyond like my understanding of the whole setup, but essentially what we are saying is center on these coordinates and make the delta for how much of the map that we want to show within these bounds. And so this is just like a basic. If you want to enable and disable zoom, you can do that. I actually have a lot of this code. Let me real quick jump over to GitHub. Okay, Kemple, avocado. I can't remember what I called this app. Yep, avocado. All right. So if I start to dig into screens, events map. So this actually has like a lot of the code that we're about to build already built into it. And if I scroll down, but this is older, so it's probably not using, it is using state. Eventually we're going to move to update camera. We're not going to get too much into that right now. But because this is using camera, it's not going to match with the get region and set region stuff. Okay. Here we go.
Because it's using the camera, it's not gonna.
There's two ways.
Map?
There's two ways to use this map. There's a newer API that has been released for the native map modules that is called Camera, and that kind of determines what's in view inside of the map.
Oh.
Cool. And so yeah, so we'll move to that, and then what this represents is kind of like the altitude. Like by setting our bounding coordinates is like similar to what we would get from altitude. It's going to ask for a default like latitude and longitude. So I don't think it's going to let you put that in without having that set, now that I think about it. So I don't think
without having what set, sorry.
If you look here, it says prop latitude delta is marked as required. Oh, but its value is undefined. Are we setting that on the map somewhere?
I just restructured
There we go.
some of this stuff. That should work, right?
Yep, that works. It's
working. Nice. I also just changed this use effect from using like the self-invoking async function to just using then on the first promise, and then we can use async.
Yeah.
Following that, I find that those self-invoking functions seem, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you. I just copied that right out of the docs. I am totally fine with not using that. So here we go. So we've got our essentially we've got our permissions set up, and then we're setting the region, and now we're using the region on the map, and then handle region change. Have we coded that up yet?
Yep, we do. So if you move the map, it should just. Yep,
and it does. So it just
should
updates.
Work, right?
Yeah. All right, so we're making a lot of progress here, so this is good.
Yeah. Why don't we throw a marker on the map at the latitude and longitude of the region?
That's next. You got it.
Okay. Would you mind importing marker. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna throw a marker on the map. You just give it a coordinate prop, which is lat long. But what shape does marker coordinate latitude longitude? Got it.
Yep.
So latitude would be region. Latitude, longitude would be region. Longitude.
That should do it. There we go. So now when it reloads, we get a pin right in the middle. As we move the map, you can see that our pin is maintaining being in the center spot.
No way. Can you? Oh my god. Oh wow, that's so cool.
It is. There's a couple things that we're
Pretty
missing.
jittery.
Oh, yeah, it's very jittery. So this is not essentially how we would want to do it. This is like every time that we pan, that set region is firing. So for every move that I do, that function is firing, and this is why it's super jittery. So what we have to do to accommodate that, I believe, is we would want to set some kind of like throttle type thing on the set region so that it doesn't fire every time. Like it would only fire after. Actually, we want to bounce and not throttle. We want it to go at the end and not at the beginning. Does that make sense? So we need to debounce that event handler.
Yeah, I guess I'm wondering then how, like, what the user experience would be. I'm thinking of this from kind of like the Uber model of like the where the pin is always in the middle of the map, and then you can like adjust the map underneath the pin, and get really precise and kind of know exactly where the pin is going to end up. If we debounce it, then the map, like the pin, will stay in its position until we're finished moving the map, and then it'll snap to the new map position, right?
Not necessarily. So we're not going to debounce until the event ends. We just don't want it to fire a gazillion times. So like if you, so, or the other option is to do, change the styles, like, or to use the camera, which is like a lot more responsive and easier to use than the what we're doing, which is like the setting the map based on the coordinates over and over and over again, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Sure. Do you want to? I mean, which one makes more sense to you? I'll defer to you on this one, just because I've never worked
I
with.
honestly don't know which one would be the most preferred method. I wonder which would be. I think we definitely want to use the camera because it's just the newer API. So I definitely think we want to do that. But I'm not sure what is the best way to actually handle having that move smoothly. Like I don't know, other than to like try to debounce it. See, this is a use case that I have not used the map for yet, right? Like everything that I done was based off like addresses and locations. This app that I'm talking about, this one here, Avocado, this is using it was meant for like events for like developer advocates. So like you enter the address of a place where your event is in the form, and like it would show you the pins and like where it is and load it up on the map, but it wasn't so much for like dragging and setting the pin individually. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like that was not what I did. So I don't know. So let's stick with what we have for now, just to
I was just gonna say, like, what we have right now is it's not as smooth as Uber, but like for our purposes right now, like if we just want to be able to set a marker visually, then this definitely does that. So we can just go ahead with what we got.
Yeah, and I think a little debouncing won't hurt. So I would still like to do that, like where we call like wrap our handle change region in a debounce and set it to like 200 or 300 milliseconds. So we're not talking a lot, but just knocking off some of those constant recalculations, I think will give us a bit of a smoother experience. I think we can just install like a low dash debounce by itself, right?
Perhaps, yeah.
Oh, it's low dash dot debounce. Here we go. Yeah, which is like its own individual. Whoa, sudo dash h npm dash g npm. It's really weird to like include in your docs. Okay.
One sec. Let's creates a debounce function that delays invoking the function until X milliseconds.
Hey, what's up, Jaded Emperor? We're chilling, building some React Native stuff. Got that going on with AWS Amplify and Apollo clients. And what we're working on right now is the ability to move, pulling your hair out. Oh, geez. Well, whatever you're working on, I'm glad that's not what we're working on. I hate to hear it. Hope this is a nice reprieve from that. But yeah, right now we're working on the ability to kind of move this map around and then set the pins. So we should be able to like zoom in and out and really dive in. I'm not sure. I can't remember how I zoom on here. I have to remember how to zoom on the simulator.
Hold Option for your second finger, I think.
Oh, yeah. Option. Oh, thank you. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So we can zoom. Kind of. Doesn't seem to be working super well. Just keeps bringing me further out.
Oh.
Well.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
You're gonna be in space pretty soon.
Reload. That was hilarious. How do you zoom in and out?
I don't know. So Jaded is just got an IT job and trying to build a database and has no experience with databases. Well,
I wonder if it's
that is a pickle, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of resources out there to get started, depending on what type of database you're
that's a good point.
looking to get started with. But I believe in you. You got this. I would say that like it doesn't hurt to spend like if the goal is to set up a database. I'm sure it wouldn't hurt to sink like an hour or two into watching a tutorial about, Postgres basics or something along those lines.
Yeah, I agree. A shipping database, in a warehouse. Yeah, that's interesting. Do you have any?
Here,
yeah.
I'm gonna link a tutorial in chat.
While you do that, I'm gonna get
this is
load
getting
dash.
started with Postgres. It is apparently only going to take 41 minutes to complete. Lots of people reviewed it highly. Like I said, I don't know what type of database you're looking for, but Postgres is typically or Postgres is like a very commonly used database here in 2021. So if I had to recommend one, I would recommend this, but
same.
Yeah.
That would be my default. Access database? Ooh, I don't even know what that is.
Oh geez. Microsoft S. Oh boy.
My goodness. Oh my goodness. That's so wild. I do remember Access now. I took a course a long time ago on like Microsoft Office, and like part of that was Access and like building a database.
Oh shit.
Jeez Louise. Wow, you're gonna use Access. All right.
Access initial release November 1992, 28 years ago.
Yeah.
That is an old ass database.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's RJ or FurJ. Used Access database at high school graduation. Yes. Nice. I love it.
Wow.
Yeah. That's so funny. All right.
Well, I don't know if I can find a nice egghead tutorial on Access, but but I'm sure there's plenty of resources out there. Yeah, you got this. Just take your time. Learning new things, like setting expectations and budgeting time.
Yeah.
If I have a task that I have to work on at work and I'm not familiar with the subject matter, it's okay, and it should be perfectly acceptable by your boss or whoever, for you to section out a couple hours to spend on learning. And yeah, that would be the way to go.
Okay, so what I've done now is I imported debounce and I've wrapped our handler inside of a debounce call. So let's just see if this works. Yep, but it's not as smooth. So 300 milliseconds is way too high. We'll try 100. We're in the ocean.
Oh, snap. Some underwater spots.
How did debounce cause that? That can't be right.
If you remove debounce, does it
Let's find out.
fix the problem?
It does. That's not good. There's
Okay.
something in my eye. I'm gonna try adding it back real quick. I'm just like very curious as to. Yep. Oh no! See, that was weird.
Fixed.
Yeah.
Let's
And
see.
yeah,
Refresh. Oh. Okay.
it's still super janky. But also part of this is going to be that it's running on a simulator. Let's not forget that. So like I have found that a lot of these updates and events run really rough on a simulator, and then when you try it on a real device, it's actually pretty smooth. So that's number one. Which I could do if I had an iPhone, but I really don't want to test this right now. Let me see something. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. Here's what I want. I want to go here. Yeah, let me try this.
So when I see something like this, I'm one of the things that I worry about is that we are like this function. We don't want this function to change. Basically, every render.
Oh yeah, we need to take that out.
Like this is creating a new function every render.
Yeah.
And so like the way that we want to do this is like debounced region.
Yeah, and save
change.
it to some state somewhere or something.
Yeah, well, we could just go like
Outside of our
const
component, right?
bounced region change. Well, we need the handle region change, which is inside the component, but I'm thinking we can use
Does it need to be?
callback.
Oh yeah, it does.
Oh yeah, definitely, because we're calling set region.
I'm not following you. Oh, there we go. Use callback. That's what we need.
And we'll give it a something. It does.
It certainly does. I'm gonna go add it because we were missing the dependency, and then we'll see there. And for RJ, You are correct. You can, there's an app you can install and then scan the QR code. And that's what I'm doing right here. That's actually what I'm trying to run. And it's building the JavaScript bundle right now. Let me get this in focus. You still can't see it. It's so bright, but it will build. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, so yeah, you can scan the QR code if you have the Expo app and just run it right from your native device. And oftentimes, I do this while I'm developing because what I get in the simulator, the feedback I get is terrible compared to the actual on-device experience. But it is trying to load this over Wi-Fi, and now I'm actually questioning how smart that is because this JavaScript bundle is humongous, but we seem to be holding in there. Everything seems to be okay. I just don't want it to mess with the stream.
Because it produces not producing a file.
That's right.
It's like memo-wise the response from deep.
Yeah. So we just have to wait for it to reload because it's loading my bundle now as well on my device. And it almost makes me just want to stop that because, like, who cares right now if it's actually on my device as well. I did just want to see, it's almost done. I just wanted to see if it was in fact more responsive. But you can see here we're loaded back up, back up into the ocean, which is annoying. So let's just try and change something. Let's see if that. Refreshing. 98.14%.
All right.
I'm wondering if I messed up because my phone is Android. Well, there we go. So that worked for that. And then let's try this out. Ooh, you see that? It's working.
See what?
It's working. It's just not pretty. Here we go. Okay, so
Is this better or worse than without the demounts?
I think it's worse, but I want to try it on device. So I got,
okay.
Look, so there's the app loaded on my phone.
Good stuff.
So let me go ahead and try this. Oh my goodness, it remembers my old Expo emails that like I've used to like test devices. That's really funny. All right, my password is @test 1 2 3 4. Okay. Okay. So I don't have my map marker because like Android behaves slightly differently. It makes you have a default latitude before you load up. So I can't really test that, but you could just tell, like, just by me navigating this thing around. Let me get it into focus. Oh, again, it's like so bright. There we go. So, but when I move it, you see how responsive that is on device?
Oh, yeah.
Right, and even when
Way
we
better.
remove the debounce, we're not going to get that level of responsiveness on the simulator. And that's just, it just is that way. Like, it's hard to know how good it is. So I think we're okay.
I wonder if on the device, like if we remove the debounce, if on the device we'll get that Uber level
Let's try
smoothness
Let's take it
with
out.
the marker. Okay, so and what were you saying? The problem with the marker
We have to have
on Android is
we have to have a
you have to have an
latitude
initial
and longitude at the initial. Yeah.
All right, let's just give it 0 0 then.
Oh, I don't think that's a real latitude longitude. I'm gonna pull what's from the docs.
Is 0 0 not a real
I like it
think
is, but
that's
isn't that in the
considered Null
middle of
Island,
like
right?
nowhere?
It's right off the coast of Africa.
Okay, cool.
It's a place called Null Island.
No.
If you yeah.
Is that where null comes from?
No, this is Null Island. Null Island is just like the name that geographers use for the point on the Earth's surface where the prime meridian and the equator meet.
Got it.
So where it's 0 latitude, 0 longitude.
Do you have deep bounce in there?
No, I don't.
Okay, because this
I
is
took it
what
out.
we get without it. So let me see if I can get this in focus. So there we go. You can at least
Okay.
see the dot, but it's very jittery. There we go. It's pretty jittery, but it does move quickly. So now I'm curious to
That,
see
though. Yeah.
what happens with
I think that's like
acceptable.
pretty close to what we want.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what it looks like
It'll-
again with 100-second debounce.
Sure, I'll 100 millisecond debounce, of course. Wait, did you just put it in with 100 millisecond
No,
debounce there?
I haven't done anything.
Okay. That's not bad.
It's not bad,
Yeah,
and you can't see it on camera, but for me, the marker goes like this.
Yeah.
Did you add the debounce by chance, or?
No, I'm working on it.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
Debounce, region change, use memo.
'Cause we don't
Let's
really need
get a
it.
little memo in there.
We are building a demo app. I don't know that we do 100% need it, but it does work, which is really freaking dope.
Yeah, this is, I think, if we could get to a point where we are creating spots based on the location chosen on the map, that would be a great result for today's stream.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I just implemented the debounce region change.
Okay.
That's with 100 millisecond debounce.
Okay. So now we're gonna try it. I've
And
reloaded.
Okay.
Yeah. So it updates on end.
Nice. So that is exactly like the type of behavior that I was anticipating with a debounce, because if the issue is that it's constantly firing off debounce, not debounce, region change calls.
Yep.
Every millisecond, let's say. It's gonna keep firing, or it's going to delay handling your region change until 100 milliseconds after the last region change call was made. So you get that feeling like, you know, the marker stays where it is on the map until you're finished moving.
I actually kind of like it better though, like on a real device, because like if I go real fast and then it's like boop, the marker always just pops back up in the middle.
Yeah, I think that's great, and it's way. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah. The focus is
it's hard.
Is an issue, but yeah, I think that'll work.
I like it. You got all robotic. I'm not sure what happened with the connection. Let me try to fix this real quick. I'm gonna switch this to be right back, because even your audio is coming in a little funky. All right.
Oh, am I still robotic?
Yeah. Let me flip over to be right back. We'll be right back, folks. Let me try this. Yay, we got our blades back.
Yeah. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back.
Cool. All right. There we go. All right, so now we've got this working. We've got that. So what we want to do now is we want to set our location so that we could like save a new spot, right? Is that, I think, probably a pretty good wrapping point?
Yeah, exactly. We want to use that currently in our create spot GraphQL query, we're sending a location with a latitude and a longitude. And I think if we just use that here on line 112, you'll see like this is the part where we can replace with the longitude and
Yes.
latitude stored
Yeah.
in the region state. So what are you right now?
I'm about to. So let me go ahead and do
Okay.
that. Boop. I am now following.
So what I'm going to do is just delete the longitude and latitude inputs.
Yeah, we don't need them. We don't need
No,
them.
and we could delete this longitude and latitude out of state. And down here, lat and lon, what I'm going to do is just replace all of this with a location prop
I like it.
that this create spot component gets. And then down where we actually render create spot, we pass it a location. And location is just going to be
The Latin long.
lat is region latitude, and lon is region longitude.
I'm going to take out this text for there are X amount of spots because I feel like that's not super helpful to us. Boop.
Right.
So we can remove that for now, and then we can essentially uncomment this.
Okay.
Yeah. Boom.
Wonderful.
Okay. So we're not really going to be using our query, though, at this point because we have list spots, which I think is okay. I think that's fine for now. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we...
It would be so nice if we could use hooks, like Apollo hooks in here, because then we could just have our data up at like a top level.
Yes.
And what would be really nice is if we could go in here and map over
yeah, so now you're getting to where I am at.
Spots and add markers.
Yeah, so what I want to do is, I think a good thing for us to do for next stream is we're going to break this out into two views. We're going to have our like create spot or add spot view, and then we'll have our spots. And we'll set up some tabs like we would in a native app. So we'll take care of that. And then, yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do, though. We're going to end up listing our queries in a different view. And yeah, we'll put markers for all of them. We'll try to capture them some in view. And so we can do it. So this is kind of neat. And of course, we're going to want to change the styling. And I think what we'll have is like a nice button up in the top or something or near the bottom. Like change this create spot into like a bottom button
between the two modes.
You got it, right? So we'll have our tabs and you can flip between, and then it'll make it pretty easy to, we can actually interact with the marker. So it could even be that like you click on the marker and that can bring up like a native view, and that could have like add name for spot and then like drop it right in there. So it'd be a nice full screen view of the map. Everything is based off of this marker. We can play with some ideas. I also wouldn't be opposed to having like a little, a button up in the top or something like that that says add spot or something. We've got some room to work with, and maybe we'll look at some other apps over the next week and get some inspiration. But I think what we have here right now, what I would like to do is, how about let's just inside of create spot, well, let's hold off because we need a name. So I think like this is actually probably the best place to kind of just hold up, because any other further steps are going to take us deep into the woods. Kind of, we have to make a significant amount of changes to get to the next step.
Okay, I'm maybe we can do one more thing if you have the time. I'm thinking, what if we just, let's see. I just want to make it so that the create spot form, like the name and whatnot, is in the right place.
I do have
I'm just
time.
going to like.
Yeah, I got some time.
Cool. So I'm just gonna create some styles for the create spot form. Create spot is gonna have, first of all, it's gonna have a background color. And I'm just gonna say margin top auto to make it anchored to the bottom of the
Yep.
page. That is my hope. If we can get it there, then I want to make it full width. So it feels like a little drawer on the bottom of the page, and
Yeah.
then... Oh, what did I
No,
do?
I got you. You're good. Just needed to be saved. Hot
What's,
reloading was broke.
Oh,
We're
okay.
good.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the stream for my to see if what I did was right. Okay, cool. That looks good. Maybe let's just
Oops. I can't.
Do you want to space the inputs out a little bit more?
Yeah, and I can't exit out of the
Okay.
keyboard view. There's like a lot of work to do there.
Hmm.
No, it's fine. That's just how it is if you don't like build that in. It's like
Like if you click on the map, it doesn't do anything.
no, that's not how mobile
Oh,
works,
shoot.
honestly. But if I hit return, it goes away. But there's just like we have to build the
I see.
functionality in. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it will need it eventually. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, like right now, you can't even see the words you're typing.
Yeah.
So how do we make it so that the keyboard like pushes the
Yeah,
layout up?
that's a keyboard avoiding view. That's what I'm saying. It's like a whole other thing. So we have to create like this wrapping view that takes into account the keyboard. We have to listen for the keyboard open events and then resize
Oh my
like the
God.
rest based on that. It gets pretty tricky. We should, yeah, that's what I meant.
Can we?
by, like,
Is it possible to just
the other thing is to push
use
it to
the
the top.
keyboard avoiding view from React Native and then that's it?
Kind of. Let's give it a shot. Normally, it doesn't just work
try
out
it.
the box. That's been my experience.
Okay, I'm gonna make the create spot container a keyboard avoiding view instead of a regular view, and gonna add some padding to it as
Yeah.
well. Do I have to specify the units,
No,
or can I say
it's
like
just a number.
8? Okay. So once that padding shows up,
It should
you
be
can
there.
test it out and
It should be the padding. So 8 is essentially going to equate to like 8 pixels.
Yeah.
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
So if you
Did we add that style somewhere?
yeah, I added it.
Oh yeah, create spot. Yeah, then you might want to do. Oh, keyboard avoiding view. Oh, you want me to test it? Yeah. See, it's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't work just like out of the box. It's still covering it.
Ah, shoot.
Because it's not like within the view. I'm telling you, it is a real pain in the butt. Keyboard avoiding view needs to be really around like the entire layout. And
I see.
then you still
Okay.
have to like on certain devices it won't always work. Like on iOS it behaves slightly different than Android. I have code for this as a matter of fact. So if we go back, you can if you want to see kind of what it entails, I believe create event screen should be using this.
Let's check it out. Can you bump the font size up
I
on GitHub?
certainly can. Yeah, that's really small.
Thanks.
And then I also realized I'm not sharing my desktop with you, which is pretty big pain.
That's all right.
Where do I have this? These are my inputs. My input. I should probably just search for it. Here we go. So look, I have keyboard avoiding view around my safe area view. And then you have to do like a bunch of checks to see if the keyboard is open or not, to do like a bunch of other stuff. But it is wrapped around literally the entire view is the way that it works.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can get to that
Yep.
next time when we're doing the two views, because I think
Yeah.
the first view where we're just listing the spots, we don't need a keyboard
At
avoiding
all.
view for that.
Nope.
But the second view where we're adding spots, we would. So
And we can have a
we
lot
can
of fun.
consider that then.
Yeah, so what I would like to do for this like list view would be to have little cards at the bottom, And then like it's like a carousel, so you can slide through them, and as you slide to each one, it would shift the map to it. Because then we could maybe have
Oh,
like
cool.
the name. We'll start with the name and description, but we could add pictures, like support maybe to upload a picture of the given spot or thing. And that'd be really neat to show in that little like bottom card. So it does open up the opportunity for a lot of fun user experience.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is a
Sounds
really
like a
good
plan.
point. Yeah, I think this is a good wrap up point. What do you feeling good about this? How you feeling, chat? I feel like this
Yeah.
is good.
What do you think about just trying to? Do you think we'd be able to, like, type a name and try saving
Yeah,
a spot
yeah,
using the
yeah.
location,
We can absolutely do that. I think that
and just see if that works? That would be a very satisfying end.
let's do it. So I'm gonna do it right here, and we'll call it test space 2 return, and then description. I'll just put test, and then create spot. So I've hit the spot. I'm not seeing any errors. So now we need to know if we've done that. So what I can do is actually go to AWS console, and we can list our spots. Oh, my token has expired. So let me log back in. I did this last time and picked the wrong one. We'll try this one. Yeah, so that was the wrong one. Okay. Okay. So if we look under items, we have 2. So it worked. Test 2, description
Amazing.
test, and our Latin long is 0 because that's where it loaded up from and I never moved. Let's
Yeah.
do this one further. Let's reload.
Okay.
If I could get it to reload. It is not reloading. Oh, so it seems like, here, let me just make a new line in here and save. That should kick in reload. I really want it to load us not with this like empty, like in the ocean. And I don't want to stop the build. So I'm going to try one more time. Refreshing. There we go. Darn it. There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay, whatever. So I'm just going to drag it around, right? So we're in the North Atlantic Ocean, but now we should not be at 0, 0 anymore. So let's do test 3. So we create that spot. And so now if we come over here and we rerun our query, we have 1 item, 2 items. It's still called test 2. Is this not in order? Test 3. And our Latin long are not 0. There we go.
Awesome.
So it is in fact
Look at
working.
us.
Look at us. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought we'd be here, right? But yeah, so this is working. This is good. Yeah, I like it. I think this is a good place to wrap up here, and we're getting real close to like having something that's, you know, usable. We're at stream number, what is this, 4, I think, so far? 4 episodes we've done on this.
Yeah, it depends if you count the first one.
Yeah, the first one was rough. I don't really count it. About 3 streams of actual work. So we're about 6 to 7 hours.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, if you were here for it.
Those who were there for the first one, oh boy.
And that's what
we don't even need to tell.
No, that's what Kyle was referring to in the beginning when he was talking about will my computer catch on fire. So we've had super fun experiences with building React Native and running a live stream. That is for sure. It's funny because I'm actually considering getting a dedicated PC for streaming so that I could like do the app stuff on the Mac and then just feed that into the Windows PC and stream. So I think, you know, eventually we'll get there, but like, hey, one step at a time. Anyway, this is a really good point. I think that's enough for the app development. So quick recap of what we've done. We had our API basic set up and working, authenticating. We've come in, we've added a map view with React Native Maps. We've added a marker and it will update the region. Whenever we move the map around, the pin will always be the source of truth. Wherever the pin is, that's our location. So we've got that, we've verified that it's working, and we can save it and we can view that data in AppSync. Next stream, if you're interested in some UI work and a little bit of stuff like that with React Native, you'll definitely want to tune in. We're going to show how you can handle multiple screams.
Screams.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. And yeah, so we're going to do multiple screens. And then yeah, we'll work on some cool UX stuff, really flesh out this form. We'll get some keyboard safe area stuff working. It's going to be a lot of fun. So definitely stay tuned. And yeah, we will take care of that next time. Thank you for joining us. We love to have you.